So this video I'm going to show you how we apply some form of sealant into the joint, because ultimately in our waterproofing we want to create sealed joints. So how do we actually get our cartridge and our nozzle to assist us? Because one of the issues we find, or I find when new students come on board, is they put far too much sealant on and it's hard to manage. You put a lot of sealant in and you've got to tool it all off, and there's a lot of wastage. In sustainability, in construction, we want to minimise wastage but still obtain a seal. So how do we do that? What I do is I generally get a little ruler, and you can see a big line there. And think back to Pythagoras' theorem in high school when you did it. A plus B gives you the hypotenuse, so we've got a triangle. What we're trying to form in there in the joint is we're trying to form a coved fillet. Yeah. So we want a 12mm coved fillet in our joints for a class 3 membrane. So I work it out that if we allow for Pythagoras' theorem, we want to go 8mm up the wall, 8mm down on the floor, which gives us a 12mm hypotenuse on that triangle. So really what we're saying is we don't want to cut this down to 12mm, we really want to cut it down to 8 to really minimise wastage. So all I do is I get my little ruler, and I generally find that I start here, see the big line there, I generally run it up there until I find that it's okay. So that's about 8mm there, and yeah, I might cut the nozzle there and just see what it does. So again, I get my knife, okay, so somewhere in there, and I'm just gonna cut that. Sharp cut, and I just generally cut it straight off. Yeah. And that hopefully will give us an 8mm or a 9mm hole that our sealant's going to come out at that 9mm, 8mm or 9mm diameter. So when we put it in there, it's going to form a coved 12mm fillet. Same process again on the sausage gun. Yeah, we've got our sausage gun. We need to trim that nozzle down. So I'm just going to get my ruler again. I'm going to mark it. Okay, so I get my knife ready. I mark it, get my ruler, okay, and I go there. Some people will cut it on an angle. You can do that. I generally cut it straight across because I feel that provides me a bit more of a control. If I cut it on a 45, too much might come out, or I might drag it off too quick. Okay, so that's that process.